Last week on Pokemon Cooked League, the destructive Dragapults cleaned up the classy core Claydolls with their banded Dragapult while the goofy Genesect set up their Exodia with their shift-gearing mascot. The destructive Dragapults are the only undefeated trainer left. Will the goofy Genesects put an end to that? Welcome to our third match of week 4. We have the goofy Genesects versus the destructive Dragapults. Getting into Mons here. I think the Grimmsnarl is a very interesting bring, and the reason why I think that is because there's a lot of things that I'm worried about it for. The first thing being is that Tapu Lele with the Psychic terrain obviously turns off Prankster if you're targeting enemies. So things like Prankster, Thunder Wave, and Grimmsnarl also gets Sucker Punch, and that also doesn't work. And the other thing with Grimmsnarl is that it usually is like sets up screens. But things like the Corviknight, which usually is doing like Iron Defense Body Press or something like Bulk Up, has a way to kind of stall out those turns while doing something productive still. So I'm wondering if there's anything in its moveset that he's pulling out that I am missing here. But it might just because it's a fairy typing, and that does good against Meowscarada and Dragapults, two immediate offensive threats here. So maybe it's that. On the other side, we talked a bit about the Corviknight. I don't know if there's anything else that I really want to talk about right now. Yeah. Another week, another week to maybe figure out if the Smeargle is allowed to press any button besides Spore. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Smeargle lead here, as we've seen several times. And something with it to like, I wouldn't mind something Meowscarada, just quickly U-turn to try to pivot and like maybe do something productive guaranteed with like a potential Follow Me. And I wouldn't be surprised if we just see like a rain start, anything with the Politoed. There is no easy way to turn off the rain on the other side. So let's get this match started. Okay, so we are not seeing a Smeargle lead. Instead, we are seeing a Psychic Terrain set lead. Drifblim gets a speed boost with the Unburden ability because it has consumed his item in the Psychic Terrain. And we are seeing a Rain lead here. The Cradily, of course, can synergize with Polytone's own Surf, getting a Storm with Storm Dream, which increases its own special attack, so you can start snowballing that. This Drifblim, I am wondering if it's some kind of Calm Mind set here, being the lead. If you have Calm Mind, you can start clicking Calm Mind early and out, kind of like pace like the potential Surf spam and the special attack boost, while the Tapu Lele is starting to threaten things with like Tapu Lele, of course, hits like a truck with its Fairy and Psychic type moves, some that are boosted by the terrain and just its good stats. It's also just faster here, which is not always the case, but it's a good case to have to be the fastest mon here. So I'm expecting some sort of attack in Calm Mind. And I am expecting kind of like the Surf G strat. If you have a rock type move, maybe you can start hitting Drifblim hard enough and start maybe winning that race, but I'm not sure. Let's see. Okay, Sunny Day with the Psychic Terrain, the Unburden boost. Great call here. I was not expecting that, honestly. Very rarely do we see like wacky sets from the Destructive Dragapults. Usually just plays very vanilla, but when push comes to shove, he will bring it out on occasion. And that, plus the Psychic, the Cradily, I'm guessing, is actually pretty heavily spec'd into special defense, and was expecting a kill with the Psychic Terrain boosted Terror Psychic. Did not get the kill, but I think he's okay with that, seeing that they clicked Amnesia here, trying to I don't know if Cradily has, like, how much synergy it has for raising a special defense with stat stage changes, but the Psychic has done more than enough where you think you're like, okay, job well done. It's done enough. I can pick it off next turn. The Watering Water, Muddy Water doing pitiful damage now and being the Sun and getting no accuracy drops. This Politoed needs to leave the field immediately. That's what I know. And I don't know if this Cradily is going to be able to do anything for the rest of this game. I think this may just get a sack, which is really unfortunate because you're just starting so far on the back foot here. So yeah. Okay, we protected the Politoed. I guess this is another way of this is just kind of sacking Cradily here and just not wanting anything to take the big hit. This does get punished by a Tailwind here. The Tapu Lele. Like, this is just super speed control for the next few turns. The Tapu Lele with double speed is just kind of going to be faster than everything. And then the unburden Tailwind and Drifblim is like, oh, that's going to be a nightmare to deal with. Unfortunately, like, how are you pivoting around this Politoed in a way to where you can get it back on the field safely? Or if you maybe have another trick to get rain up, but I doubt it. So yeah, this is not a good start at all. The only way I can see is that if you can get a call in and, like, hopefully he Psychics the a Politoed slot and you get in Grimmsnarl, and then you can buy yourself a turn, and then you can get the Politoed back out. But that is just so risky because obviously if it decides to click something like a Fairy type move, this Grimmsnarl is just gonna get blown up. Yeah, this is bad because nothing. Maybe it's the Genesect. It resists both the Steel and not. The Steel typing makes you deal pretty well against the Psychic and Fairy stab type moves. But I'm kind of worried that we're gonna see like a Fire move somehow from the Tapu Lele. If maybe like a hidden power Fire with the Sun out to pick off like the Genesect and the Kartana. I wouldn't be too surprised if it's like Psychic, Moonblast, Hidden Power, Fire, Protect. I think that makes a lot of sense here, actually. But we're going to get the Grimmsnarl in now. Unfortunately, it's not like... What's it called? A choice item, because we see the Life Orb chip damage, so... I'm guessing this is going to set up a screen. Maybe you can take one hit, like... can survive one turn, maybe get one final screen before you get KO'd, and then maybe you can restart here and your other threats can start putting in work. But yeah, this is just not good. This Politoed has to get out of the field. I think you need the rain very badly, because if you don't have the rain up, the Barraskewda is going to be slower than the Drifblim. And it can just get strength sapped and lose a lot of its damage output before you can even get off a move. And obviously, without the rain, the Barraskewda is not hitting the same. Okay, we have Misty Terrain. Fun fact, the last week, Ryan found out hard way what Misty Terrain does with the Galarian Weezing trying to Will-O-Wisp something and it not working. So using that information from a happy little accident to his advantage, turning off the Psychic Terrain, and also protecting himself from a Will-O-Wisp here. And we choose to go after the Politoed here. I get it. Kind of. If you get the Politoed down somehow, I don't think this mishmash of random Pokemon get there. I mean, I'm making that sound like Kartana and like Genesect are like bad mons, but like there's just so many resources in the back, like the Dragapult with Fire type moves, and like a Smeargle to potentially click Follow Me to give that Dragapult time to safely click those moves when the Dragapult is faster than everything. It's just, yeah. Um, Maybe also trying to protect the Terra here with and just decide to go for the Politoed. Yeah, this is rough. I do want to see what this other Grimmsnarl also has for next turn. Oh, and of course it's the eject button, which we've seen several times. Okay, there's the parting shot, which now works because there is no psychic terrain. We do get the rain back up, and we just click Sunny Day, not following the tricks. Grimmsnarl being a very we've seen Grimmsnarl not be used in Pokemon Cook Bleed by the Destructive Dragapults, but on, you know, his actual VGC teams. So using that knowledge against him. And now this Barraskewda is looking kind of pathetic. And there goes your Rain Setter. This, I don't know if you can win at this point. Okay, we do go for Crunch here. Looking at that damage makes me believe that this is banded. I lied. It is Life Orb. But yeah, now your stab move is just gone for the rest of the game. So that's really, unless this Grimmsnarl has Rain Dance, I don't even know if it gets that. Well, I guess we'll see. No, we do get the Sucker Punch off. You know, probably, maybe not even expecting Sucker Punch to be brought here with the potential of Psychic Terrain, but being able to set up your own Misty Terrain, to counteract the Psychic Terrain, makes the Sucker Punch possible here. And that is a Shadow Ball into the Grimmsnarl. Just does not do a lot here. I am kind of surprised he just didn't click Shadow Ball into the Barraskewda. That would have actually done some reasonable damage. Barraskewda is much frailer and is actually a neutral hit instead of a resisted hit. And the Crunch Toes goes off, which means the Tailwind is expired here. So the Barraskewda can start outspeeding things again here. Except the Pult. I'm guessing this Pult is at least faster than non-Swift Spoon Barraskewda, just for that insurance here. And I think we'll find out pretty soon if the Dragapult does come out. No, we're actually going to see Meowscarada here. I wouldn't be too surprised if it was Choice Scarfed here. I do think the Corviknight is in a very safe spot, though. The Barraskewda just cannot threaten this for that much. Its stab move is gone, basically, with the Sun. And Corviknight has good natural physical bulk. And the Meowscarada can threaten to just Flower Trick the Barraskewda here. And I don't know if Barraskewda has a way to really threaten either of these mons too well. And it appears it is probably Choice Scarf Meowscarada, or maybe the Barraskewda is just a bit greedier of a set, expecting him to get Rain up, which he did not. And here comes the Iron Defense stuff. Okay, no, it is just a greedier. It's just a greedier Barraskewda, and that's gonna cost him here, because if he wasn't, he might have been able to double the Meowscarada and just had the Meowscarada dead here, but the Meowscarada gets to live because of its Focus Sash here. And this is Life Orb Grimmsnarl is kind of crazy here, but Grimmsnarl does have a surprisingly good attack of like 120 or like 125. So it's not common to see like Grimmsnarl being a main damage dealer, but this mon does more damage than you think it does. It's just its attacks are not that good. And obviously the Prankster plus screens is just so powerful here. Seeing the Genesect here, Genesect does learn Flamethrower. Sun boosted Flamethrower would be pretty powerful here. And because of the Notera already being exhausted, you can you don't have to worry about that. I think this is a decent time to let Meowscarada go. Like, I wouldn't mind double protecting here, but we have seen the sorry, I wanted to click that just to make sure if we know the download. We have seen Shift Gear Genesect before. I don't know if it's being brought here, but yeah. I just am kind of scared of a potential fire move from the Genesect, which would, some boosted fire move on the Corviknight, I think would KO here. I feel like it should, but I don't know. I've been wrong on these things before. And oh my goodness, it is the Shift Gear Genesect here. I don't know how useful this what's it called? The Shift Gear is end up going to be if it's purely physical attacker. Just on the case that this Corviknight takes physical attacks so well, especially with the Iron Defense. But it does make you be able to outspeed the Meowscarada here, which is pretty nice. So if it's some kind of mixed attacker, it would just seem so strange to run Flamethrower on a rain team, but who knows? Let's see what we see here. A +2 body press with the crit is going to take this down really, really low here. He is now just left with the Corviknight and the Meowscarada here. I mean the Corviknight. Well, I said that wrong. It's now just a Genesect and the Cortana versus 4 Mons here. You did get the Shift Gear against the Genesect, which does help you be able to outspeed the Dragapult. But I don't know if that is end up going to mattering, because Corviknight is just in such a commanding spot here. You saw the Ice Beam only do 30 here, and we have the ×2 defense Corviknight. I don't think the Cortana is in a spot to do it here. We still do have Terra left, so maybe that can do something. It can help you survive a +2 body press here, but let's see. Okay, this was just a scout here trying to bait out another protect. So now that he sees that the Cortana just protected, he can conclude that it's probably not going to protect again, and that is the Mon that he's probably going to attack next turn. Honestly, you might be in a spot where going for a double protect is not a bad play here. You are pretty far behind, and if you do get it, I do think he does give you a real shot of winning. I think that is your best play here, honestly. Okay, we see the Terra Ghost here, which is about the only Terra that gives him any sort of a chance. And man, even after seeing the Cortana protects, he just decides to body press the Genesect here. A very bold play that is going to work out here. Maybe expecting a Terra from the Cortana, or maybe even just going that he's going to go for a double protect as his best out. And look where that double protect would have gotten me. It would have gotten me dead. But this play also didn't get him there. And yeah, seems like a pretty safe end game here. You can just kind of keep on clicking like follow me, as the Corviknight can just kind of do whatever it wants here. Just keep on pressing an Iron Defense, or it has that Dark type move that does more damage, more stat stage changes here. And here is a Choice Scarf Spore again. Okay, that's another way to do it. And because we have this Pult here, it can just click Phantom Force here. That will get this done. Oh, we do not have that. We're just slowly killing this over several turns and just abusing sleep. Now we're on Choice Scarf Follow Me. Okay, I get this now. Oh, I get this is a strong word. There's the Phantom Force. Why didn't we do that last turn? Did you think the chip matters? But yeah, that's going to do that. Okay, so this was that is just a very unfortunate start here. Bringing out the tricks to stop the rain. Probably thought rain was pretty safe. I thought bringing rain out first was pretty safe. Backfired terribly. Good bring from the Destructive Dragapults. And they move on to 4-0. Congrats to them. The only undefeated player left still. They play me next week. Let's see if I can do a bit better. Alright, that's going to do it for me. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.